This is the most underrated tool in hitting. Not your hands, not your swing. It's your eyes. If you can't pick up the ball early, time it, or track it, it doesn't matter how good your mechanics are, you're gonna struggle at the plate. I'm Nick, the hitting doc, and I'm gonna cover what most coaches don't today. We're gonna talk about how the eyes work, how to find our focus and use them, and then finish with how to train them so you can get ahead of the competition. Let's jump into it. First things first, let's talk about visual acuity, or how clear our vision is. There's this really cool quote published from Baseball America's article on this. They studied 1,500 professional players. We were surprised to find that 81% of professional players had acuities of 20/15 or better, and 2% had acuity of 20/9.2. The average visual acuity of professional baseball players is approximately 20/13. That is exceptional vision. Kind of the standard is 20/20. That's where most of the population is. So professional players have vision that is above average, and not by a little bit, it's by a lot, okay? So if you are a coach, statistically, about 1 in 10 kids will have suboptimal vision at the 20/40 mark. Even slightly below average vision is probably higher prevalence. So if your vision is not up to par, you need to get it checked. You can have, there's a lot of options. You can do glasses, contacts, things like that, but you need to be seeing clear, okay? It's gonna make a bigger impact than you think, okay? So get your eyes checked. Best to do it before the season. That way you're just dialed in at the start. Starting with an image out of my book, I have a picture breaking down the 3 phases: the recognition phase, the decision phase, and the execution phase. This first block, the recognition phase, that takes about 75 to 100 milliseconds, and that represents the time our brain processes what the pitch is and where it's likely gonna be. So our brain is kind of anticipating what's coming. So in that window, that's when we need to pick up on spin, on location, and see it out of the hand early, okay? The second chunk, that's the decision phase, and that takes about 150 milliseconds to happen. And that is when our brain decides, do we swing or not? At a quick point, hitters, we should always be in attack mode, ready to go. So it should be yes, I'm gonna swing. And then during the decision phase, if you don't like the pitch, then it's a no, okay? So we're always expecting to hit the ball and then shutting it down. So that is when it all happens. And then the execution phase, that last third, is essentially the amount of time it takes for your mechanics to set in, whip the barrel through the zone, etc. I'm gonna talk about how the eyes actually work. How do they do this, okay? So this top image, that's showing convergence. And convergence is essentially, you have 2 eyeballs, and they actually both point inward when the ball gets closer, okay? So there's 2 pitches, one showing kind of, closer to the pitcher, so you can see that the eyes are a little more spread apart. And then as the ball's moving closer, they start turning inward, okay? So we have muscles on the outside of our eyes. They're called extraocular muscles, and that's what is allowing us to do this, okay? And then we also have muscles inside of our eye, and that's pulling on the lens, which is helping us focus. So why is that important? Well, the good news is you can train both of those things. And even better news, basically no one focuses on it except for pro players. So if you're a younger player, high school, college, even little league, you can get very ahead of the competition if you focus on this stuff, no pun intended. So to pick up on the ball, this happens before the ball's even in the air, okay? So we need to find and set our focus, meaning we need to be looking at the pitcher, a certain area, and then we can fine tune our focus to pick it up out of the hand. So I have 2 pictures with 2 different terms. On the left, the yellow outline, this is talking about soft focus, and this refers to just kind of a generalized area that you want your eyes to be sitting as you're in the box and the pitcher's going through his windup. So for me, I always like the bill of the cap, look at a logo, something like that. And then from there, you pick up your hard focus, and that's just getting the ball out of the hand. So it's important before you're even in the box, when you're on deck or in the dugout, look at kind of what the pitcher's release looks like. Is he more over the top, or is he to the side? Just a lower arm slot. That can really help you kind of get ahead for that first pitch before you've seen very many. So we have our soft focus, looking at the bill of a cap or a logo, and then we try to pick it up out of the hand as early as possible. Okay, so we've talked about how the eyes work and how to find our focus in the box. And now let's shift into how can we actually train them and strengthen those muscles we talked about. So let's watch this video I just pulled up on YouTube. This is one of my favorite exercises. It's one you can do right now. All you need is a pencil, okay?
Eye exercises you can do to keep your eyes strong and healthy. Well, pencil push-ups is a great one that helps your focusing system and your convergence system. And so to do a pencil push-up, all you do is take a pencil or a pen or a marker in this case, and you focus right on the tip. And then you bring it in and stay on it, and then out. And then in, and then out. And then repeat that about 8 to 10 times, maybe a few times a day, and that'll keep your focusing muscles strong.
Another exercise I highly recommend is using a Brock string. It is kind of what it sounds like. It's just a string. You attach a few beads onto it, one side anchored to a wall or a door or something, and then you hold the string on a straight line to your nose, and there's going to be multiple beads on it that you focus on at different distances, and that's going to train that convergence, okay? Highly recommend it. I'll link a video in the description below on how to do that. And third, my favorite drill that I think all coaches should do, especially early in the year, is just do live takes, essentially. So you can use a pitching machine or see it out of the hand. I do like it out of the hand a little bit more. And what you're going to do is just have your hitters line up in the box, and they're literally just going to get their rhythm and timing, and they're just going to see that pitch all the way into the zone, and they're going to try and pick it up out of the hand early, okay? So you can do multiple reps, just have them stand in there, get a rhythm, timing, and then just watch that ball as best they can. It's going to train those muscle movements as well as that convergence and focus. So that's a great one. I also love doing that with bullpens. So when you need to do some live bullpens, it's great to help pitchers also translate into the game so that they can throw with an actual batter in the box. So it's kind of a 2-for-1. So that was great. And then another one that I really like is called the live number toss drill. Essentially, you just take a ball, you can take baseballs, wiffle balls, whatever you want, and you're just going to number them or put letters on them. So you can draw them with a Sharpie or something, and you're just going to do some soft toss to your hitters. And then the goal is to try and read what number you see on the ball as it's spinning. So that's going to help pick up spin and kind of train your focus in your eyes to really lock in on the ball. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video on vision training. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll have more stuff coming out. And if you want a deeper dive, check out my book, The Baseball Hitting Guidebook. It's on Amazon. It's got everything you need. We talk about the recognition phase, the decision phase, how to battle in different counts, and then the execution phase loaded with mechanics and pictures. It's even got a drill library, 18 drills, has some vision stuff in there too. It's even got an eye chart if you need that. And I also have a free PDF linked below if you're into that. And I want to know in the comments if this content's helping you, if the swings are improving, if you're seeing transformations, or if you have any general questions. I'm happy to help out. So anyway, until next time.